Good morning, folks. We are super fired up today. One question only. We're going to debate the whole hour. Will Powell be hawkish and make a last stand, or will he cave to the pressure and be dovish? Market doesn't know. We don't know. We want to know what you think about it. Got some earnings to cover, some ratings to cover. We're never changing the name of the show. You know why? Because the market will just punish us for it. You know what I'm talking about. Anthony Pawlak returns after a little break. We got some good news from Anthony to share with the crowd. It's a Friday on PreMarket Prep.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. And this is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
Okay, let's share the charts. First of all, here on this Friday morning, everyone is in a great mood. Looking forward to a nice summer weekend. We're up 12 3/4 handles. We don't know what happened at 2:30 this morning, but we're 40 handles off that low. How's the buck? The buck is up a dime, 98.62, moving off that consolidation area to the upside. TLT up 14 cents at 86.55. USO found that $72 level, now $2 higher, 74.22. GLD and SLV both in the red. Bitcoin just kind of being a quiet sell-off, but three lows in the same area. It's up slightly. The futures at 112,455. Let's bring in Triple D. And Triple D, we got to decide on what day next week you are going to do the chicken taste testing.
I know. Twitter's all over it. They said I cannot tell the difference between a Walmart chicken and a grocery store chicken. So we do have to figure this out because I can tell.
How far do you have Costco up there, right?
Costco chicken will be good. Yeah.
This is what I want to do.
Costco chicken will be good. It'll be the best one.
This is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want Laura to get a Costco chicken.
Yeah.
A Walmart chicken.
Yeah.
And either she cooks a random
grocery store chicken.
Grocery store chicken.
Yeah, like we have like Foodland, Superstore,
Super Foodland sounds good. And then we will blindfold you. Maybe we'll get one of the kids to help out, and we will blindfold you, and then you will have to tell all three.
Yeah. I'll have to say which chicken came from which place.
You have to eat chicken in the morning. I know you don't like to eat in the morning.
I'll do it. I know. Actually, I do that 16-hour fasting still. I try anyways. It usually works out to be about 13 hours.
It usually works about 12 hours.
12 hours and then 10 hours. And then
we'll decide what day next week.
On it. The chicken tasting test. Because nobody believes I can taste the Walmart chicken difference. I can.
Okay,
I'm telling you right now.
I'll talk to Laura.
I'll get the Walmart. I don't know if I'll get the difference between the Costco one and the grocery store one, but I'll get the Walmart one. I'm like, that's the Walmart one. It's rubbery and chewy.
I guess I could take Walmart off our potential sponsor list that I've been reaching out to.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I don't think they like me.
Yep.
We may be able to take Cracker Barrel off the list now soon too, because the CBRL. I love myself some Cracker Barrel, by the way, but that logo change yesterday. I mean, Brentster, I don't know if you have it in the background to show it.
I'll pull it up. Yeah.
The logo change yesterday, it was hideous. This was an unprecedented move, and what I mean by that is I've never seen a stock fall 9% because they changed their logo. This was absolutely despised by the market, despised by social media, despised by pretty much everyone that saw it. My wife was looking at it like, is that for real? Like, it just is. Like, the old logo's cool. It's got the barrel. It's got the dude leaning against the barrel. It's got everything it needs. It's a history of it all. And then they go to this. What's that?
Just plain Jane. They're just strictly
I don't even know what that is. So my official prediction is they go back to the original fairly quickly. The person who designed this got fired yesterday, I'm going to say, secretly behind the scenes, and they are going to move back. That's my official prediction. The one on the left is so much better. Never mess. This is like Block, never mess with the brand. I know you didn't change the name, but this is just as bad. This is awful. Your signs are going to go to this. Like, what the hell is that? Terrible. Terrible.
Jay's mentioning for us old farts, that would be me and him. Cracker Barrel did Sambos did this in 1980 and they ended up filing for Chapter 11. Sambos. Yeah,
I don't even remember what Sambo's was.
It was kind of like Brent,
Restaurant?
can you pull it up real quick? Or maybe I
Yeah.
can't. It
Might be hard
was
to find.
I think it was kind of like a Denny's. Is it still
Denny's is
around?
just a great name.
It's not around anymore. No.
No.
So Sambo's changed their logo, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Don't mess with your logo, man. That was logo design. That was an awful logo design. Okay. Anyways, we won't stick on Cracker Barrel, but my official predictions, they go back. It did bounce already off the lows. It was down to 51 yesterday. It's back to 55. There is uproar, like everything you want to call it. People are not pleased. I think they go back.
I think that I'm not going to do any technicals on this because there's no AI in Cracker Barrel.
Well, that's a good call. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to where there is AI. And there's a lot of AI in the main stories of the day. NVIDIA is one of your main stories of the day. Last night, just after the 8 o'clock close at 8:06, they came out and announced that they are suspending production. Well, at least there's rumors. I don't know if it's official, but there's rumors that they're suspending H20 chip production. And that's the chip that goes to China. So what does that mean? Does it mean demand's down? Some people are saying, oh, no, it's going to be another chip they're going to ship over there, so it's not that bad. The market's selling first, though, and asking questions later, because I was looking this morning. Almost every stock is green here this morning. Lots of green on the screen. NVIDIA is not one of those. NVIDIA is down $2 here. Joel, technical thoughts. You concerned about the H20 chip suspension?
Wait, is that the one that the government was going to get 15% of?
Yeah, I think it was all tied in with that. So
I
don't know what all
idea.
that means.
Yeah,
but right now, the market says, I don't know what it means either. So we're going to sell NVIDIA off a little bit.
Okay. Consolidation station at this 180. Look at all those lows in that area. Now wow, I didn't realize we were that far off it. So that's your super extra major resistance. They always like to, wow, it's actually gapping below yesterday's low. So I'll call 173.81 minor resistance. Your next daily low, the current low for the week, is 168.80.
Oh, that was quick, short, and sweet. I like that, Joel. AMD down in
We
sympathy
never know if
here.
you're going to like it or you're not going to like it, Dennis.
I like you when you
Yeah,
just
they go
simply with
too
one
much
number.
technicals, not enough non-technical.
No, one number is the best. That was really good. AMD. So I'm long AMD in the long-term portfolio. Looking to buy more, but right now the chart's breaking a little bit here down. It's down here again in sympathy. Obviously, they ship chips too. You got major support at 159. We breached that, and then we start thinking, ooh, gappy. And you could maybe see 150 would be the natural next stopping point here. What are your thoughts on AMD? Are you concerned technically here? Is this just a healthy pullback?
159 is your number. 158 is my number. The reason being it broke out from 158 on the way up, and then you had the current low for the week at 58 and a quarter. And that is supported by an August 6th low at 57.80. So that's your number. And then you got the 50-day below it. But right now, volatility, Trump, Powell, interest rate, whatever. Bulls are still in control as long as this holds 158.
And we're going to get to the Jackson Hole conversation here very soon, but I want to cover the other big news from last night, and that is Google coming out. And apparently they are getting, and I'm trying to find it here now, and I don't have it in front of me, a $10 billion Meta contract. That's the rumors. I believe that broke just around 750 last night. Google and Meta doing a deal, looks like, and it looks like trying to find the details on this. Man, I should be more prepared for this.
Is this a new all-time high?
Google, Meta signed a $10 billion cloud deal with Google over 6 years to use Google's cloud servers, storage, networking, and related service. The information is reporting this. So it's not coming from the companies, coming from the information last night. We do see Google breaking out here, and no, it's not an all-time high.
No,
but
it's not.
It is definitely close. And we've come a long ways back. It's one of the few Mag 7s that is not making new all-time highs. I still think the core business is under attack, but nobody's worrying about that. They're worried about all the other businesses they got going on. They do have a lot of irons on the fire. So Google's smart. They'll probably figure it out. I don't own Google, and it does have the lower PE, but it's been lagging a little bit here because the core business is under attack.
I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I really feel like like their search has improved even a little bit more as of late. Do you guys say that, or is just that a random old man thinking? Because like you Google something, the first thing they'll give you is like the generated AI response, and it's usually pretty good.
I know. So that means they're not clicking as much on their follow through search. Like, you know how much those clicks are worth. Like, it depends on what industry it's in. But if it's a specialized click, like if it's like, you're looking for like a neurosurgeon, like something really specialized that, they're going to get pretty good clicks on. Some of those clicks can be like $50, $100 for the click. Like, it's a lot. So, and then you have other clicks that are worth like pennies. But I mean, I don't understand too, Joel, when you are giving, the special AI answer at the top, how do they make money off that? I'm sure they do, but I don't think they make as much money as if you were to click and go to somebody's website. So it's kind of like, I just feel like the cash cow of like clicking and going to somebody's other website is under attack here. And
you know what? But it kind of like, it gives me a good answer. It gives me a good overview, but I will say I do another click.
Yeah, but a lot of people are just flat out using ChatGPT too, though, now. So, like, my wife just ChatGPTs at all. So, like, she still even subscribes. Like, there's a pay ChatGPT, and I see the bill. It's like $12 a month or something like that. She's even got that. She's in ChatGPT that much. Like, she's using it, edit all documents, doing this, writing notes to the principals, ChatGPT. I mean, everything. So, I mean, it is replacing search to a certain extent. So is it as accurate? I don't know. Me and you, Joel, are always old school. We're creatures of habit. We do things the way we've always done them. I still Google everything too and don't use ChatGPT. Money Mitch, though, he's been kicking around here. He's in the chat here right now. I mean, he uses ChatGPT as well. So I do think like it's under attack, and I don't think it's priced in. Maybe it is a little bit because the PE is less, but I don't know. That's why I keep staying away from Google.
Just throw in the chat whether or not you use ChatGPT.
I mean, that's everybody except me and you. Brent, do you?
I I've like made a conscious decision in my life to not use it.
You're trying to make a stand. Stand up for Google. Stand up for traditional search. Stand up for Google's profit margins. We'll get a little sign standing up for Google.
What about Grok? What about Grok?
I'm standing up for Brent's brain. I want to do the exploration that AI does for me. I think it helps these neurons happening up here. Just one man's thought.
Yeah, good point though. It's not about search, it's about YouTube. Huh. They're making a lot of money off YouTube.
Well, they make money everywhere too, but we know we've broken this down in the Stock Trader Network. I think it was 54% of the revenue still comes from search. So 46.
It's coming down.
46 comes from YouTube. Everything else. They got, obviously they got Waymo. They got a lot of cool things. They're working on. They got a lot of AI stuff. There's going to be some replacement for that. But as of this point in time, a lot of the revenue still comes from search.
Okay. I'll just get one number. We talked a lot about this. 203.36 is yesterday's high. So you're up 243, but actually you're above that. Nope, you're not. 23.05. That's a good number. Next daily high for the week, 204.29. But if Powell is hawkish, you might not be seeing those levels.
Well, and that's going to bring us into the most important conversation of the day. Hawkish or dovish? Chat, we're going to do a vote here right now, right? Hawkish or dovish? I'll give you my thoughts here in just a second. We'll let you guys vote it out here. But just to let you know, he is officially giving his speech, Jackson Hole, 10 a.m. Powell's going to be talking about where, obviously, the Fed is thinking. What are they looking at? They're looking at the CPI. They're looking at the PPI because the PPI was scary. Are they looking at tariff inflation? Are they leaning hawkish? Are they leaning dovish? We need to know this. Lots of hawks. The hawks, oh crap. It's overwhelmingly hawkish in this chat.
It's only hawks. I don't see.
There's all hawks.
Everyone said hawk dove sandwich, but besides that, everyone said hawkish. Does this change your sentiment at all, Triple D?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, I don't know where, but that I'm shocked at that many hawks in there.
We've got two doves. Two doves, folks.
That is absolutely crazy. This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Literally.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. So, okay. Everybody thinks a hawk. You know what? I'm not going to go away from it. I think he's going to be hawkish too. Here is my train of thought why I think he's going to be hawkish. I don't think he wants to be pushed around, which we've talked about that lots of times. But I also think that that Powell's of the opinion that it's kind of the writings on the wall that the next Fed is going to be very dovish. Trump's only going to put doves on. I mean, we've got a witch hunt going against everyone that's basically, hawkish. And I mean, I think there's a situation here where interest rates are definitely going down next year. Once you get Powell out, Lisa out, all these other people out, they're going to be replaced with doves. I think the current Fed knows this. And they're like, well, if we're going to be really dovish next year, we better make a stand here. And that's why we named the show Powell's Final Stand. We better make a stand and say, hey, let's keep interest rates elevated for a bit because of the uncertainty of tariff inflation, because of that PPI number. We had a Fed official say it yesterday. The PPI number was really bad. So I forget, was it Goldsby? Was it Goldsby yesterday with the commentary, giving us a little hint? I think it was. Trying to find it. I don't have it in front of me. I believe it was Goldsby. And what he was saying was that the PPI number was somewhat scary, and they have time to bring in more data. So I think they're going to stay with data dependent. I think they're not going to lean and say, oh, we're cutting for sure. I think they're going to say, I think they get more numbers because bring Brent back in here. When is the next Fed decision, and when is the next jobs report and CPI data?
Okay, give me one
isn't
sec.
it? September CPI should come before the official Fed decision.
The Fed meetings are September 17th,
yes,
October 29th, and December 10th.
And the next CPI data point is going to be earlier than that.
Yes, give me one sec for that.
It's usually like the
Steve
second
says September
week.
5th. That sounds right to me. Oh, that's jobs.
Yeah.
That's right, jobs.
That's jobs.
So that jobs is important. Right. We got PCE coming August 29th. So we got some data coming in. So I think that's what they're going to be. They're going to be like, we have time to wait for the data. We are not going to tip our hand. We are still sitting on the fence here and waiting for more data. The market's not going to like that response. So if he leans hawkish, which the chat thinks and I think so, then what moves down probably quickly is IWM, XBI, TLT is like doing its own thing right now. It's long-term rates, but what needs, rates to come down significantly? XBI, IWM. So keep an eye. Those are your interest rate sensitive names. It's not NVIDIA. NVIDIA doesn't care about rates. NVIDIA doesn't need rates. The AI revolution's coming. Rather, rates are high, low, or sideways. It doesn't matter. So it's not the tech trade that gets derailed. It's the IWM, the recent rally, the value trade. The value trade started rallying really off this light CPI and then a little bit derailed in the PPI, but then started picking back up again. That value trade wants lower rates. The lower rates help. We've obviously talked about this for a number of reasons. You get lower rates, it's easier for companies to borrow, and it's less competition for those yields on those value names.
Okay. I was thinking hawkish too. And then I was going back and forth with Blue. We had Blue in the STN room on Tuesday, giving his view. And he still thinks September. He doesn't think he's going to waver off to September. He's really confident, and so is everyone. And the Fed Fund tool, right? But he wants to. There's a differentiation between a rate cut being interpreted as shifting the yield curve down or rallying at like. What's the net effect going to be? The cut is already expected. Is that already priced in? Is that already priced into the market and everyone's just carried, is there going to be 2 or 3?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think the September rate cut is priced in yet. I think if he came out today, let's just take the other side and say the doves win the day and he comes out dovish. And I don't think that's going to happen, but if he did, I think IWM is up 2% today. I think XBI is up like 2-3% today. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a binary event today. Like place your bets. We're coming in here hawkish or dovish. If you're thinking hawkish, IWM is your trading vehicle. If you're thinking dovish, IWM is your trading vehicle. It's going to be the most sensitive along with the XBI.
All right. Well, we got our point. Brentster, you want to wrap us up on this?
I just wanted to say that I've been using this rollcall.com website to track where Trump is on a given day. And thank you to the chat pointing this out. Trump's on this website right now.
Yep.
It says the president makes an announcement. That's what it says at noon today.
At noon.
That's
I just
all
gonna
the
throw that
detail.
in.
It's probably going to be
He's-
about rates.
It's
He's
going to
going
be
to
in the
go
Oval
nuts,
Office.
or he's going to say, finally, this is what we want to hear, the dovish Fed. Probably going to, no, it's probably going to be about something else, but I bet you he's going to comment on the rates, especially if Powell
It's
talks
after
about
Powell's
not lowering.
speech. It's after Powell's speech. I mean,
I know. So he's probably going to comment on that. Is this
Do
going to
we
be the
know
Intel
how-
announcement? That would be cool. I don't think
We
it
gotta
is.
get some
Intel's
Powell.
not
What'd you say, Dennis? What'd you
about
say?
Powell or Intel?
Yeah. What? Oh, that's what you said. It's going to be about Intel.
No,
That's
it's
funny.
Not. It's not. Intel's not even up at all. He's probably going to
it-
comment on the war or something. Or I don't know. Do we know? Maybe it's the Ukraine-Russia
Well,
war.
so
Maybe.
I just was gonna say, like, when I look at this site, it usually has reasons why he's gonna do an announcement. It's kind of funny that it just says the president makes an announcement. I will say that.
We all will tune in. So we have a big day of news here today, with Powell coming on. It's going to move markets. Trumpster coming on at noon, going to move markets. We got, Friday. We got, it's going to be good. It's going to be a great day.
The $64,000 question. Are you going to sit and trade intraday?
Probably not. I hate intraday trading. I love overnight trading. Why? That chart we show, overnight returns over the last 20 years, way higher than the dead intraday trading, the chop and slop of high frequency trading. Up overnight, intraday is just choppy and sloppy. Overnight's so much smoother. That's why we do that. That's why we specialize in that in the Stock Trader Network. But also, we have some good intraday traders. Money Mitch is going to be coming on here at 10 a.m. or at 9:30 on the Stock Trader Network.
9:30.
And he's going to be trading this live. So we do have some intraday traders here. But yeah, intraday, not for me. I like overnight. More money overnight.
To see. That would be fun. I like, everyone's like, oh, I'm listening to the speech. I don't listen to the speech. I just, I look at the market. I look at the spoos are going to tell me what he's saying. And it's So it'll go up. All right. Do we want to actually talk about some stocks on this show?
Well, we could talk some earnings. There was earnings last night, actually. It was the fade trade back again, fading like crazy. So we had Workday, Ross Stores, Zoom, Intuit, and there was fades all over the place. What do I mean by that? The initial move, the algo reaction, wrong. I don't know who runs these news algos, but I'll tell you there's less of them. You know why? Because they all suck. We said this before. Like, again, market making algos, Citadel, you've killed that. Virtu, you've killed that. But when it comes to earnings, they still haven't figured this out. They read the headlines, and sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. We get the charts back on the screen here right now.
Dennis, have you been in your stock lately?
Virtu?
Yeah.
I haven't been trading it too much. No.
Oh.
No. It's come down a little bit here lately.
You
digress. Let's go back to where we were talking, Workday. So Workday comes out with this was one of the big tech reports after the bell. They come out, and the numbers were pretty good. 221 versus 212, 2.34 billion versus 2.342 billion. The guidance, they say raise guidance. I don't see a raise, but they say raise guidance. 9.5 billion to 9.515 billion. Analyst estimates are 9.51 billion. So we're literally raising guidance by $500 million. Not half, like 0.005. So what is that? 50 million bucks or something like that. They're raising guidance basically not at all. But they said raise guidance. So that's good enough to screw up the algos because beat, raise, we buy. They bought Workday. You won't see it on there. You can see the little line on that chart. Joel pointed out there on the left because it's not colored.
Whoa,
we're gonna
Nelly.
fix these charts. Yeah. They traded up $10 on that. And then they looked and they're like, raise guidance. Wait a second, where's the raise? There ain't one. That's an inline guidance. And then they killed it. So they took from 237 down to 216 a heartbeat. News algo punished again for their stupidity.
237, Dennis? Were you going to look and trade something else? Because it went to 239.84.
I just ballparked it from your chart.
Yeah.
Almost $240. The stock was up 12, and 12 seconds later it was down. The only person, no people bought it. The only thing that bought that was the news algo, and the news algo just pissed away money again. Wrong. Okay, let's go to the next one because we're making a point here. Again, I've made this point before. Humans still win the day. We're not there. AI may replace us one day. It isn't today. Ross Stores. Same thing. Let's look at Ross. $1.56 versus $1.53. Slight miss on sales. Oh, the news algos didn't like that. 5.52 billion versus 5.57 billion. They see gap earnings. Well, the quarter Q3 they see light, but Q4 they see better. So overall, that narrows the view, but the guidance is kind of in line. So it's kind of mixed. So if you look here, you're like, oh, this was a great report. But wait, again, we're going to fix these charts. On the initial report, they're like, oh, crap, it's a sales miss, sell Ross Stores. It went all the way down to Joel, drumroll.
Oh, is that right? You're
Yes.
talking. No way. It
Yes.
went in 135.77.
It went down $10.
That was the
seconds later. It was up. So you know who sold it? The stupid news algo. Damn. There is somebody just punishing the news algo. It is losing so much lately.
Can we write
the
our
earnings news
own?
algo. Not
Can
the
we-
news, the earnings algo. The earnings algo, it is getting absolutely punished. So it buys Workday up 12, sells Ross down 10. This is just literally burning money and throwing it in the incinerator because Ross Stores immediately rebounded because they were the only ones that sold. And when you take out the whole buck, there's nothing left in here. So then one buyer brings it back up, another buyer brings it back up, and now it's off to the races. The news all goes like, oh my gosh, I just shorted like 25,000 shares down here, and now I got to figure out how to cover. Maybe it wasn't 25,000, it's Ross Stores, but probably short a few thousand.
It's 25,000. If you're swinging 25,000 shares of
The
Ross
news
Stores,
algo will swing. When you take out 10 points of a buck, it's more than 1,000 shares. There, I don't know. We'd have to go
Okay,
out and
I
up. But
know,
I
I
bet
know.
you it's like 5,000 shares sold down there. Literally just pissing money away. Now, not to be outdone. Not to be outdone. The news algo also on Zoom.
Wait a second. I just want to tell you, you might be right because over 700,000 shares traded on that
I might
bracket.
be right.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of money on Ross. The earnings algo lost a lot of money on Ross, lost a lot of money on Workday, and got absolutely chopped up to hell on Zoom. So let's do the Zoom earnings and show.
Okay, I just want to tell you the expected move in Ross was $10.
Knock her down 10, then bring it up and like go up 15 from that point in time. Like, holy crap. Don't chase the news algo, folks. Don't chase it. Zoom coming out. $1.53 versus $1.37, 1.21 billion versus 1.19 billion. And guidance, slight raise, $1.42, $1.44 versus $1.39. One thing about Zoom, and I said this in the Stock Trader Network. We said it, and Zoom went up about $4. And then I'm like, this is Zoom, though. Zoom always pops on the initial report, almost always, and then almost always drops back down. What I did not foresee coming is the pop happened, the $4. Then she lost 7, and this thing hit 70, Joel. This thing hit the 70 handle. So it went up to 77 because the news algo buys all up. Then it went all the way down to 70, and then all the way back up to 77.
All right.
So I didn't foresee the second like rise there. So maybe the earnings algo got their money back on that one, but they got hurt on that too. Zoom is notorious. It's like the banks. It's notorious for the beat, raise, the pop, and the drop. Now, it's holding this pop, so that's good news for Zoom shareholders here. The stock is like just makes a crap load of money. But this market hates stocks that make too much money because they don't think they can last. I mean, they're supposed to make this year $5.84. They raised guidance up to $5.84 on the high end, $5.58. They raised guidance. If a tech stock did this, would be like a bazillion %. But it's not. It's Zoom. And yeah, it's a tech company. It's a one-trick pony. But $5.84 is a $76 stock. I mean, it's trading like 12 times earnings. But it doesn't matter because they don't think they have any other tricks up their sleeve. If Zoom ever announced something cool AI, like a new thing, the stock would maybe reprice. But right now, they hate Zoom. They just think like DocuSign, same thing. They just hate it because it's a one-trick pony. It is up. These earnings were really good.
I just look at this whole 76 area. That's my area of interest. And just because it really struggled there for quite a few weeks and, consolidation, 74, 76, and it broke down. But you're coming back to this area to see if we can punch through that 76 area. And then the next area of resistance for you shorter term traders will be the pair highs at 77.5. Longer term, Let's see if we can hold the 50-day at 74.97. So there's a look at it. Kathy, she dumped this thing, didn't she?
I think she's still got it, doesn't she? It might make too
No.
much money for Kathy, though. Kathy doesn't like stocks that make too much money. She likes the stories like that burn cash. Let's go look. Zoom. ARC Holdings. Let's just ask Google. Does ARC still hold Zoom?
Well, the reason
ARC
I'm
no longer Zoom. So AI Google
Yep.
says, I don't know if this is right, but it's AI Google. We can see ARC no longer holds Zoom communication stock. ARC liquidated its entire position in the stock in late 2024 after previously making it a very large holding. I think it was the third one. Makes too much money for Kathy. She's like, I gotta sell it. I can't make a stock that makes that much money.
You know who
She hates
pointed
stocks that
out?
makes money. I'm kind of serious about that. She doesn't like stocks that make too much money.
Do you know who was a buyer of her stock at that time? And he knew she was dumping?
No.
Sean Emery of Avery and
Sean
Company.
Emery I haven't had on the show in a while.
Okay,
What is Sean? What are you doing out there? Sean, what's up?
And I always
Sean
get
is
his
the multi-value
company.
tech guy. He figures things out. Bring Sean. When's Sean coming?
Sean, I don't have him on the list, but it's Sean
Get him on the
Emery
list.
of Avery and Company. Why is it Sean Emery and Company?
No, I know. We've asked him that before. I don't remember the answer for it. But
Okay.
Yeah, his company.
I got it. He's on my list.
But
He's
Sean,
always good.
you listen to the show every once in a while. We give you a shout out. We always like Sean Emery. Okay. We got our guests in the background, getting ready. 2 minutes away here. Quick little look at, the last earnings stock, and then we're done earnings. So we want to cover it into it. INTU. There was no fool in the news algo and the earnings algo on this one here, though. At least I don't think so, unless I missed it. Maybe you did get fooled. 275 versus 266, 3.83 billion versus 3.75 billion. That's a beat on the top. That's a beat on the bottom. The guidance kind of up a little bit. Not bad. What gives? Well, it's into it. They don't like into it anymore. INTU. They're not into it. So stock gets the beat. It's down $50. Don't ask me why. It's just what they decided. The market decides.
Okay.
Sometimes for no reason whatsoever.
It's down 50. I checked the expected move here. This is a high price stock. So just going to look, we're trading. Wow. We had 650. I'm just going to say, look at all these bars here that you had before you gapped up. That was probably from the last earnings report. And that was just consolidation, 660 to 670. And now we're below that. Huh. I don't know. This is a tough chart. I'd say, tough.
It's selling off
650. 650. That's my one number. And this is a tough one.
I'm scared about that too. Let's go get our guest here in the background. Tony's hiding. He's ready to rock. He's in his seat. He's going to give us some good trades. Let's go.
Tony, the owner of Real Life Trading. We're going to have to give him a little congratulations. He is a father of 2 baby girls.
Oh my gosh, twins.
Yes.
That's right.
Have you slept?
No,
at all?
No, I've been up since 2 weeks ago.
This is like, we're trying to get Tony back on the show, and he's like, I'm so tired right now. I'm just so tired. I remember, when I have 1, so 2, I came. Money Mitch knows about this, though. Money Mitch knows about this, but congratulations. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Sleep. You don't realize is this your first 2 kids too?
Yeah, that's our first one.
Oh yeah. So you don't even you didn't even get warmed up. You didn't get warmed up with 1. You went right into the fire, 2
right
kids.
in the fire.
Let's go. I got 1 screaming over here, 1 screaming over here. Nobody sleeps in this house.
No, we just dove right in. We're like, hey, if you're gonna have twins, do it right off the bat, so you have nothing to compare it to. So we're just moving forward. This is normal, So it's been awesome. It's been great. We adopted these twin girls, and we've been in the kind of the adoption realm for a long time. And
Awesome.
Got a phone call, said twin girls are born. Go get them. Went out to New Jersey and spent 10 days in the hospital and a few days more in a hotel waiting to get back to Utah. And it's been a journey, but they are awesome and healthy and happy, and we're just loving life. So
fantastic news.
Yeah.
Final thing, there's a book, Healthy Sleep Habits, Happy Children. You got to get it. You got to get those kids to sleep. It make your life easier. They're a little bit early. If you want some tips from Lisa, Dana slept 20 hours a day. It was gorgeous. And then she got up ate and pooped and went back to sleep. But this is not Dinah Shore here. This is a stock market show. And so how did you get, so I'm sure you weren't trading during that, right, Tony? I mean,
I actually was. And so luckily I was prepared for it. And all I've been doing is just selling a credit spread once a week on Monday, every week I don't have to do a whole lot of management. And I do that with my team. It's like a $200 a week challenge I do with them. And you can scale it up higher, but that's what I've been doing in my community. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to be MIA, but here's a 98% win rate. Simple, easy, way out of the money. Let's sell some credit spreads on Monday.
I like that.
Went on them on Tuesday, and I don't have to manage it. I can go do this crazy stuff, dad stuff here, and still make money on the side. So that's what we've been doing, and it's taken off, and I'm actually going to keep doing it because everyone loves that strategy so much.
Are you doing that on the market or a stock? What are you doing that on?
On SPX.
On SPX.
Yep. On SPX.
Outline this for us, Tony, and Joel. Joel can work the charts, or if you want, he's pretty tired. I don't know if he wants to get his charts up there now. If you want to get your charts up there, we're all for that as well.
Yeah,
so, up to you.
Yeah. Here, I think I can figure this out here.
Okay, he's gonna figure it out.
I say that, and now, right there, present. Okay,
there's a little plus thing. StreamYard changed, and you have to hit the plus. It's like I go to the grocery store, and there's no words on anything anymore. It's just symbols, and I'm like trying to figure out how to check out and how to do same thing. They've eliminated all the words, like words. They don't like words on things because people speak different language. So everything's just symbols now.
Yeah, it's threw me for a whole loop, but we're good. Can you guys see my screen? There
yes,
we go.
sir.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's go. So on the SPX, all we're really doing is we have certain entry criteria. And so Monday morning, I go on live with my team, with all my community, and I just say, hey, this is the entry I'm doing, and this is why. And I teach them what it is, and they get the whole strategy, everything when they sign up. And so they have all the background to it. And then on Monday evenings, I teach them mentor groups of like what credit spreads are, because there's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not bad. And then we trade it. So like some of the trades that we did this week, let me just go out here. I'll go very simple. First things first.
Like simple.
Yes. Let me see if I can figure out how to use this thing. There we go.
I thrive on simple. I'm a simple.
Thrive on simple. Credit spreads is a whole different way of trading. Like I have a 97% win rate, not because I'm a genius, but because it's just the way it's set up. So anyone can do it. We win as long as the stock doesn't go somewhere. So what we did here, if I go to a daily chart, actually be a little bit easier. So on Monday this week, based on our entry criteria, we sold a bear call spread way up here. So we win as long as it stays below that line. And it did. We won on that in one day. Well, on this pullback, we then went ahead, and I normally won't do this, but I was like, let's double dip. Let's sell a bull put spread. And we sold the bull put spread down here, I think 63.05.
Yeah.
And it got a little scary yesterday with the big sell off or a couple days ago. But with this thing hanging out now, that credit spread is now off to the races and winning. And so because I already had one on this one and it started to drop down and bounce back up, I was like, guys, I'm not even going to play the game. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this for round break even is how this one played out, because I already won on this one and I was double dipping anyways. But everyone else that stayed in, they've already won. I just, again, couldn't really manage this one too much. But that's all we're doing. Last week, same story. Sold a bear call spread, won on that in one day. The previous week, sold a bull put spread, won on that up there. And so I actually made a YouTube video with the journal and stuff with all the other trades, exactly what we did. So I'm not going to go over all of that stuff, but that's all we're doing. It's simple. It's easy. And as long as it doesn't go past a certain area, we're using the expected move and stuff to be able to give us way outside where the market's going to go. So a crazy move would have to happen in order for it to get to our sold strike. And when that happens, I have risk mitigation techniques to be able to fix that. So one of them is just rolling it. If it hits a certain area, we'll roll it and turn it into a even further credit spread the next week out. So we're not losing on these trades. We're just going to roll out of them. So it's very safe. It's very low management, and we win on them in like a day or two. But figuring out that, you don't have to trade. You don't have to be perfect to trade these markets changes everything. It helps so much to not have to be like correct, right? I don't have to perfectly call the bottom on this and have it bounce. I can just say I win as long as it stays, above this. So it can kind of do whatever the heck it wants to do. And so that's all we've been doing. That's normally my go-to when I can't manage trades, and everyone's making a ton of money on it. So That's
You're
all
an
we want.
insurance company. You're writing insurance to the market,
it.
really, is what
Yep.
you're doing. And you're also writing lottery tickets as well. You know,
Yep.
like people are like gambling, you know, you got the weeklies. Everybody's like, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to buy these weeklies and the market's going to explode. And you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll sell you some of those lottery tickets and I'll sell you some of those as well.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
obviously the risk man does the one issue obviously with strategy is when you get prolonged bear markets where, you know, you roll it, now it's getting you again, you roll it,
Yep.
you get it again. Like, let's say, for example, like April 20, you know, like just back in April.
Yeah.
Like, how do you minimize the damage when you get like back to back weeks where like beat up?
We actually sold. So we were doing this strategy during this sell-off, and we actually got out of this for a win before the sell-off happened. So one of the keys is limit your exposure in the markets. There's a reason why I get on Mondays. We normally will, like, half our trades will win by Monday afternoon, the same day. So we're in and out because that's how fast theta sucks out premium.
Yep.
But the other half are going to win by about Tuesday. So we were out of it before the major sell-off started to happen, which helped. So that's the first thing. Limit your exposure in the market. The second thing is make sure you're selling out well beyond the expected move. So you're not selling too close is going to help you. The third thing is whenever you roll it, you don't necessarily have to roll it into another bull put spread. You could roll it into a bear call spread. Now, that's going to have some drawdowns in the fact that the calls are not going to be paying quite as much on these steep sell-offs. But whenever I get crazy moves like what we're seeing back through here, right? And luckily these don't happen very often. They might happen once or twice a year. You know, this market may be a little bit more, but even then it is a rare occurrence, right? And so it's going to be, on 2 hours of sleep here, guys. It's not going to happen very often, right? It's going to be the anomaly. So when that does happen, what I like to do is I have a bull put spread here and it's coming down to it before it gets to my strike. So before I'm losing too much on it, what I'm going to do is get out of this one and turn it into a bear call spread. So that way I'm not having to keep rolling across this big move that keeps taking me out. So there's a few things that you can kind of play with. And the spread is $10 wide is normally what I'm doing just to reduce the fees. The fees are a little bit much on SPX. So I do $10 wide. But I mean, you can do this strategy with a couple $100. Most of our people are doing, the community is doing a couple thousand. And then again, that's so that you can make $200 a week. And so that's what we've been doing.
Yeah. You just got to watch that 1%. You know, that's
the one thing. And so the next point on that is we close out when it gets to our sold strike and we do not hold the day of expiration. So when it gets to your sold strike, you're going to be down about 30-ish% of your max loss. Cut it. I haven't had one of these make it to my sold strike in a year and a half. So I thought this week was going to do it though. So we sold the 63.05 and we still would have won. And that's the nice thing too, is that it's really hard to outpace theta. So when we got into this credit spread right here, our break even for the next day was here. So even though it was dropping, it was still not outpacing our break even. And then Thursday's break even was here. And then of course, Friday's break even is going to be right around your sold strike. So give or take, it might be a little bit above it, but at the end of the day, right? So even if you do get these crazy moves, like last week, we also had a bear call spread out there and it started to bounce. We did a bull put, one of these, I can't remember, actually might've been a few weeks ago, right here. When we sold one, it started to run, but our bear call spread was all the way up here. And so it couldn't outpace that move. And if
you're going a long ways out.
What's that?
You're going a long ways out of the money. You're not going close
Correct.
to like,
we are selling like 10 deltas. Yeah, 15 deltas. And we're doing it. We're selling it for that Friday's expiration. So we're capitalizing the most on the theta and most, we're leveraging as much as we can. But we're also selling it in a way that's paying us the right amount of money, but we're really far out of the money. And that's our first line of defense is I get a chance to get out for break even about 2 times on average before it even has a chance to make it close to my sold strike. So just by the way the option is set up. So even if this thing runs like this week did, this one bear candle, my option went back to break even. And I have a chance to cut it then if I want to. And then the next day it ran up. And then the next day after that, it was a bear candle right here. I had a chance to cut it out. Whenever you're buying these 10 delta options, it has to literally go straight to your strike when you only have a couple days left of expiration, because that's the name of the game, right? So the probability of it putting in 7, 8 bull candles in a row, whatever, and running straight there, it's going to happen. This is not a 100% win rate, but it's a very rare occurrence. And even if it does, that's when we go into the, okay, pull the parachute, roll the spread, work our way out of it. And worst case scenario, close it out at your sold strike. You'll lose about 30% of your max loss. So it's going to take me, it'll take me about 5 trades to get back to that one loss. But that 5 trades are, again, right now I'm sitting on about 120 wins in a row.
Yeah, insurance.
So if I take one loss, I'm just taking, these disappear, but I'm taking, let's say 5 of those out of the 120. So the probability, by the time I hit a loser, I have so many wins stacked up, it doesn't matter. I'm still extremely profitable. So that's kind of the nature of this strategy. And when people see this, they're like, I didn't know trading could be like this. They're actually making money because you no longer have to be perfect in the markets anymore. You just have to not be completely wrong. And it changes everything. This is what saved me when I first started trading, because I was trying to day trade and it was really hard to be perfect. And then I started doing credit spreads and I started making a consistent income. And that allowed me to have some stress off of me to learn how to day trade a little bit more and then make money that way as well. But credit spreads, even to this day, 7 years later, are still like my go-to. I do every week because they're easy money.
How do you feel about the market here, Tony?
Yeah.
We've had a nice rally. We're coming into Jackson Hole. We pulled off, another great buy the dip opportunity ahead of Jackson Hole. How you feeling about the overall market?
Yeah. It's interesting, actually. So if we jump over here to SPY, we're kind of at that spot where bulls need to hold, in my opinion. If this doesn't hold, I could see 620 coming. So if 620 starts to come in, then I kind of see a little bit more of like a head and shoulder potential type play. If this can hold, I think we keep on cranking. And so far it's trying to. I think yesterday was the big day for it to say, okay, if the bears are going to be here, we take out that hammer. Now, of course, Powell speaking, we can get pretty crazy today and go bearish. But I like this area right now for the bulls to step in. It makes sense. And if this doesn't hold on the weekly time frame, I still think we're just going to get a normal pullback. Like, I still think this is a buy the dip. Even if we go to 600, I'm still buying this dip. That's just me. So on a daily time frame, yeah, this is the spot where the bulls should buy. If they fail this, we could go a lot lower, but then we got to shift out to a bigger time frame. This is still just working on that type of price action, I believe. So I'm still full buy the dip. This could go a lot lower. Like, I'm looking at this open gap here at 570. That could happen if really crazy things happen, but it's still going to get bought up. I still think we're going to a crazy Santa rally, and we should finish this year out strong. Hedge funds, everyone else, they're too far behind the mark this year. I think if we get a real pullback, they're going to be buying it up like crazy. So that's what I'm leaning on. Price action still looks very bullish. It's just, it might be a little bit shaky for the next couple weeks, all depending on if this 630 level holds, because that's also a huge options level. So once those big option levels break, it starts feeding on itself and we start getting that selling. So then 620 is the next big option level. And I just keep playing those games until then. But overall, I'm very bullish.
Tony? What about, one more here, Joel. Tony,
Sure.
What about Jackson Hole? Do you care about the Fed, or you just watch the price action? Like, are you sitting there, obviously you got the twins, maybe not today, but in normal markets, when your twins aren't, a couple weeks old here.
Yeah.
Are you sitting there like following all this and trying to price that in, or you're just looking at price action?
So for me, I don't like going one extreme or the other. So it's important to incorporate everything that you can to give yourself an edge.
Yeah.
So yes, I am balancing everything. I'm probably a little bit more price action heavy, but I always pay attention to everything because I don't know. I've like learning this route. I've had a lot of people being like, you can only trade off of news. And I've had a lot of people being like, you can only trade off of charts. I've had people that are just like, you can only trade off of fundamentals. And so it's like, for me, I like to blend it all because I feel like there's reason in it. I have friends that just trade off of news and they make money. I have friends that just trade off of price action and they make money. It's valid. And so it might, other styles might work better for others, but I try to incorporate it all. So yes, I look into it. It is something that I'm paying attention to, but really what's going to come down to is I'm using price action to give me expectations. And then I want to see how that news is interpreted based off of that expectation. So again, this 635, 630 range, we start breaking that off of today's news. I'm going back to price action and going, okay, this is where we're at.
We got some more work to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you saw the futures overnight, but it snuck down like to Wednesday's low. It got down there and bounced. So
Yeah.
there, and we always I always like to talk about, the Friday theory, ending the week on the streams for the week, the highs or the lows.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be tough to end. We're going to need one heck of a rally. We're going to need some super dovish comments to get up to wow, we traded up to 64.84 and a quarter on Monday. That's where we started up. So
Yeah.
I guess that's not that far away, 80 handles. But anyways, Tony, we want to get you on more. We want to get you in the STN room with some education. But you know what? We're going to maybe wait until next month. Okay?
Give them a break. Yeah, we got to give you a break. Get some sleep. Go, rest. Don't worry about Jerome today. We got Jerome. You don't have to worry about that. Try to get some rest. Those kids sleep. When they sleep, you sleep.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Going back to bed. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, buddy.
Okay. All right. Where are we going? We have 9 minutes left in our regular schedule.
We have all kinds of places we can go. Probably to ratings land. We're doing a habit. We're trying to get more structure here. Brentster's trying to bring us structure where, you got the earnings, you got the news, you got the guests, and then we go into ratings. And I think it's a good idea. I like the structure. Alta getting upgraded BCS today. I'll give you some color on that note. Alta upgraded to overweight at Barclays. They are raising their price target from $518 to $589. The analyst comments, thanks to Street Insider for this, glow up. Upgrade shares of Alta to overweight. We are highly encouraged by a series of rapid and decisive changes since CEO Keisha Steelman took the helm in January 2025. We're upgrading shares of Alta from equal weight to overweight based on points. 1, return to sustainable positive comps and margin expansion. 2, positive channel checks with sequential quarter-over-quarter improvement in promotional activity. 3, focus on optimizing points of retail distribution by slowing own brand stores, as well as the non-renewal of the Alta X Target partnership in August 2026. 4th, 5th, bottom line. Furthermore, we believe that the overall beauty landscape, which has been normalizing since its 2020 peak in 2022, is in the process of stabilizing with an annual growth in the mid-single-digit range. So they see a comeback story for Alta and the beauty trade. The comeback story has been happening already. Would have been good with this note a year ago here, because in the last 6 months, stocks went from 350 to 520. Sorry, Barclays. Kind of feel like you're a little bit Johnny come lately. Wah, wah.
Bring back Avon products.
Avon, we're going to protest. We want to bring back Avon. The Avon lady knocking on her door. Ding, ding. Yeah, ring the doorbell. It's the Avon lady. Lisa, it's the Avon lady.
I think there's one thing that Lisa still gets from them. I don't know what it is. One thing that she like,
Do you still have the Avon lady knock it? There's no Avon lady.
Yeah, she has an Avon.
Is Avon still around?
She puts the thing in the like the order thing in the mailbox, and then she drops it off. I swear, I'm not making this up. I don't know. I'll ask Lisa. She's gone right now. People don't care about that. What they care about is this 630 level. Recent high of the move, 630. Well, actually, the recent high of the move was 534. It's at 530 right now, Dennis. 530.44 was your August 14th high. The 13th high was 34.10. Those are two numbers because they're two daily highs in a row. Man, if you were holding on to some 525 calls and you thought they were dead, I don't know. This, to me, I'm not buying it. And if I had some profits, or I got caught in this last week,
ways.
Yeah, I'm not touching. I'm not touching this. It could run to 530, 540, 550, but I won't be along for the ride.
I think it's more of a selling opportunity for this stock than buying opportunity. And I don't see a hell of a lot of AI in Alta unless the future humanoids are going to be very concerned about beauty. The other stock on my list, Roblox. This is an interesting rating because Roblox obviously loved or hated in the community here. $50 to $145 thanks to our Michael Pachter, who made an awesome call on it. Recent concerns about, predators being on the platform, stuff like that is why the stock is sold off recently here. Well, we get Wolf Research upgrading the stock from peer perform to outperform. Put a $150 price target on the stock this morning. That's why it's trading up. I'm going to read you the whole thing because it's not too long. Analyst comments, we are upgrading Roblox to outperform, rating with a 150 PT, raising our fiscal year 26 bookings and EBITDA estimates by 7% and 13% respectively, driven by incremental contributions from regional price plus advertising opportunities. We see Roblox benefiting from platform flywheel effects, search and discovery improvements, faster content velocity, pricing optimizations that include regional pricing, differential pricing, and in-app optimizations, and ad revenue, which is still very nascent. Is that a word? Nascent. I'm learning something
What's
new
the word?
today. Nascent.
Nascent.
Nascent? What the hell does that mean?
Brent,
This is what we do. Ask
Brent,
Google AI.
No, ask Brent.
What?
How do you
Brentster, what does nascent mean?
Nascent.
Coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential.
It's a big word.
Who
Nascent.
who got the pronunciation right?
Of course you, Joel. You do everything right.
No comment.
I suck at language. You know what? That was like my two worst subjects in school were art, which I failed grade 3 art.
Me
or
too.
grade 5
Yeah,
art. I know I got the F, and then I've told this story before, and I was like, my mom went in there. It's like, how can you give a kid an F in art? And she looked, and then the teacher showed the work, and my mom hung her head and left. Yeah, I was never good at art. I was always one of art is never going to help me in life, and I like math. So I gave zero effort to art. And the other thing that I sucked at was language. It was called language back when I was growing up. It was called language when you were in school too. It's now English or French or their language, but it's called language when I started growing up. And I never still got adverbs and adjectives and pronouns and all the stuff. I was never very good at any of that stuff. So ChatGPT is going to actually help me with that in life. Nascent, no idea what that word is.
Nascent. I had my one art story. I don't know if Mrs. Kemming is listening, but she gave me a bad grade too in the 6th grade. Yeah.
At art too. We have that in common.
And so, so my parents, I don't know if people do this anymore. They used to give gifts to the teacher at the end of the year, and I don't know, it was some fancy, jam or some kind of thing. So I gave it to all my teachers, but I didn't give it to her. Okay. And then the last day of school, my mom was helping me clean out my locker. And she's like, why is Mrs. Kemming's jam still in your locker? I'm like, oh, I forgot to give it to her, Mom. And she didn't believe me. But
yeah, it was so mean. She had the jam and didn't give it to her.
Okay. I just fundamental technical on Roblox.
Yes.
Michael Pachter in the STN room on Monday said, what is happening is they're meeting these kids, but they're convincing them to go to another site, is what he said. So
this is what the predators are doing?
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Bad.
That is bad.
That's scary.
He was as I understood it, he was saying the predatory stuff isn't happening on Roblox,
right?
Necessarily.
Trying to make friends on Roblox and then taking them away from there. Which is going to be a hard thing for Roblox to put into check. That's going to be a hard thing to control. I'm sure they got mods. I'm sure they got some people looking, but that's a hard thing to control. So it's about coaching your kids too. You're on Roblox.
Responsibility.
Parenting, here to a certain extent as well. It's scary. But understandable. Nothing is going to be perfect. So, you're on these, lots of kids are on these platforms. These predators do exist. We wish they didn't, but they do. So yeah, scary.
Okay. All right. 9 o'clock hour here. Just hogging 6,400. I could give you whatever levels you want, but you know what? It doesn't really make any difference today because it only matters what Mr. Powell's going to say. So what we're going to do, we're going to hop over to the Stock Trader Network. We are going to get ready.
Balances. UNH, big buy and balance
again.
Some money off of that one. Yeah.
Oh, you brave man.
We talked about it last night on the Stock Trader Network.
Oh man, you make me nervous with that stock, but whatever. I know your strategy. You do it off the open.
Trends and imbalances.
If it doesn't work, you head for the hills, and within 2 seconds.
Well, that's with all strategies. That's across the board. When it doesn't work, head for the hills.
Yeah,
like Tony was saying, even doesn't work, head for the hills. Get out with not that max loss.
Okay. What we're going to do on Monday, I believe we got Jim Tassoni. He's going to come up and update us on some of his portfolio changes here. But that's it. Everyone, have a great weekend. Well, you know where to find us Monday morning, 8 a.m. Don't forget to get your free trial at the Stock Trader Network.